There we go. And we are live. We're just waiting for our Instagram to jump on as well. Hi, everyone. Donnie here, getting ready for the live stream Wednesday afternoon. Give me one more second. And 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, go live. And there we are. And we are live on Instagram as well. I will make an adjustment here on TikTok. Oh, good grief. I'm red in TikTok. Anyway, hi, everyone. It's 2:30 p.m. You're watching Innovation Fika with me, Donnie. Wednesday afternoons. 2:30 p.m. every Wednesday, almost, I do this coffee break chat, the world's fastest half an hour, where I meet fantastic people, talk about interesting things, and it's just like a coffee break Fika chat. Fika in Swedish, of course, meaning coffee break, get away from the desk, talk about other things than your actual work. And as usual, as you come online, please just, thank you, Yash, again, the good example from India. Yash from India. Hi, Yash, good to see you. As you come online, please post who you are, where you're from, so we get the networking going. The reason for me doing this live is that I want the comments, I want people's interaction, and I want questions, of course, to our guests as well. Today, I am really happy to have a friend of mine, Taurai, here.
Hello.
And we've known each other for what? A year, 2 years now?
A year.
Actually, it's more than a year. I think it's like 2 years now.
Yeah.
Something like that. And we're going to talk about her journey as an entrepreneur in Sweden and much more than that. But I will also say that if by chance you don't see, if I don't see your comments coming up here on screen here, it might be because you're on LinkedIn. Not sure. That doesn't always work. So if you want to make sure that your comments are visible, go to YouTube, where we are live. We're live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, Instagram, and TikTok there as well. Happy to see your comments. And as I said, episode 156, you will find all of the recordings of all of the other episodes on YouTube. So 155 episodes there until today and another one after today. So with that, starting off this wonderful conversation with this wonderful person, I'm going to ask you the same thing I ask all of my guests. So, Taurai, who are you and what do you do?
I am Taurai Valerie Mtake, also known as Tavatek Designs, and I am a graphic designer by profession.
Yes. Graphic designer by profession. And that was a very, very short description of which I know is a lot more, because I know that you have some really good specialities as well. You're not just a graphic designer.
Yes.
You're specified, specifically focused. You describe more of what you do, please.
Okay, so to actually say that again, I am an award-winning graphic designer.
There you go.
And
yes, I got it to say award-winning. Yes.
Yes. So basically, I specialize mostly in brand identity and like work that specializes in preserving cultural heritage through my designs. But mostly, yes, visual communication, art is what I do. Yeah. And I do so many things. It's so hard to like be specific, but I create visually, basically. And yeah, I love what I do.
But that shines through. I mean, I can see it in your work as well. So here's look, Philip from Gothenburg. Hey, sunny Gothenburg. Good to see you, Philip. And here's another one. Look at this, Tatenda, award-winning designer girl. There you go. You see, I got it to say it. Awesome. But I want to also, I don't want to drop this ball yet, because you did mention that you specialize in like cultural heritage as well, and I know that that's something that you do a lot of work with. We won't mention any clients coming up, but there's a big client coming up that might have a very strong cultural heritage thing going on. Shh. You heard it here first. But tell me more about that.
So basically, I would say from when I was in South Africa, doing my my honors, I was looking for a project to do for my thesis, and what came to my mind was like a project that would sort of like solve a problem of some sort. But then I was thinking about what I wanted to do. And this particular project called Madimi, which started 2015, 2016, was basically brought up as an idea to me to look into how best I can solve some sort of problem through design. And that's also when I was watching a TED talk by Prof. Sakima Fundikwa, and he was also mentioning that African designers need to start looking for inspiration from within. And that's when this project became what it is today. It's still ongoing, where it's a project that has basically been trying to educate people about symbols that were used in Southern Africa, similar to hieroglyphics, but they're not spoken as much about because of just not being taught to anyone.
Yeah.
So I took it upon myself to start teaching people about it through my work, through design as well, and like educating people about things that, especially in Southern Africa, we don't really think about or use anymore, because most of the times we're looking for inspiration from here in Europe, but who is then looking or working with what we have around us to show it and to showcase it, basically. So that's basically what I've been working with, and also trying to work into those spaces when it comes to like museums that are also like preserving cultural heritage. How can they show it now to everyone? How can you communicate those things to people, and how do you make it sound and be interesting? And then when it comes to brands, what are African brands doing about preserving cultural heritage through their work or through their brands? So that's when I come in. And
I think it's another one. I will actually say from Tatana here. So proud of you and problem solving through design. Love from Zimbabwe. There you go. Wonderful. Thank you for chipping in. This is important. We want people commenting here.
Yes.
And thank you for saying this, because I am extremely proud of this girl as well. Because another very influential person that I've met is Dominica Longa from Rwanda, because she started writing children's books.
Yes.
Because she was an avid bookworm, reading books, right? But she didn't see any books where she met herself in the books, because she was reading, European literature, the classic literature.
Yes.
So she started a book publisher to write books for Rwandan kids, where they could meet themselves in the book.
Yes.
And that's very similar to what you're doing as well. Is like, why are we choosing inspiration from over there when we have so much vibrant cultural heritage here? So I think it's fascinating. Well done.
Thank you.
And I also saw that you created the font, right, as well?
Yes. So, yes, I did.
Yeah.
And it's called Madimi One. It's available on Google Fonts now. It was launched on the 29th of February, my birthday month. But basically, what that is again, it's part of this project, which started as, okay, let's create with these symbols. What is it? And for me, when I had compiled everything, again, also it was a book for kids to learn about the symbols, because mostly kids are the first that would probably are, I would say, able to sort of like take on new knowledge, because they're still learning a lot. So as compared to like adults, we now act like, okay, we know it all, but no. But kids at least then like to learn, and it's easier to teach kids. So this project was entirely about also teaching kids about these symbols. And where the font came in was when I done my editorial, and I was like, okay, now let's choose a typeface or a font to make it easy to understand. And I just couldn't find a font that was right for my book. And then that's when I decided I would design a font. However, I had like 4 months left of designing one, and it wasn't enough time, but I had sketches and managed to meet Jan Erasmus in South Africa, who is also into type design, who supported me and also warned me that I didn't have enough time, which truly I didn't. So I ended up using an alternative typeface or a font. And then last year, Google approached me and they said they would like a typeface done by me. And this is when this project came back again to me, and I managed to finish a whole typeface and still working on it actually.
Yeah, well, that's a wonderful story, though.
Yes.
I mean, Google phoned me and they wanted to. I mean, that happens to everyone, right? I mean, they're like, and every time I'm like putting together a presentation, I'm going, oh damn it, I wish I had a font. I'll make my own. And then no, very very few of us actually achieve this.
Yes.
Here's more as well from Bita as well. Hi from Stockholm, proud of you, girl. Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep the love going here. It's the wonderful Innovation Fika is the most lovable half an hour in the world, and with the most lovable people in the world as well. Anyway. So, loads of things there. So, just going to say, everyone out there, if you know anybody or if you are looking for a designer that has this very, very strong approach as well, please, you know where to find her on LinkedIn, reach out and put her to more work than she already has.
Thank you.
So, you end up in Sweden then as well.
Yes.
And then you're studying in Sweden as well.
So I was studying in Sweden until last year. I graduated on the 1st of June, 2023. And I came to Sweden to Konstfack specifically. It's Konstfack, which is University of Arts, Crafts and Design. I came to do my master's in visual communication and did my 2 years, and I'm done now. And
now you're a self-made entrepreneur.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And what is that like? We had a brief chat before the broadcast, and we compared notes on the whole entrepreneurship thing, and this and the I think I'm not saying we've all been there, but some of us have been there.
Yes.
So anyway,
okay, so my story of being an entrepreneur here in Sweden, apart from before, was brought about by the fact that obviously as a student, I needed to continue doing side gigs or my freelance job, and which was basically also still designing kind of along the lines of the work I was doing for my business, for my project.
Yeah.
And so through that, when I was being like recommended to other people, obviously some were big companies, and they were asking if I had been a registered company, and if, especially here in Sweden, people want to pay correctly in the right way. So if I have tax number and stuff. So through that, I was like, wait a minute, because I don't have these certain things, I will lose clients, because that's how things work here. So in my first year here in Sweden, I had to register as a sole trader entrepreneur. And through that, I have been working, aside from like going to school, I was working, doing clients for work. And that's how I kind of got drawn to being a full-time entrepreneur now. And it's been quite a journey. I would say it's sometimes really challenging. Sometimes it's very quiet, and you wonder whether you are doing the right thing or not, if you are good enough, if you are doing what's supposed to be done. It can be very, I don't know what the word is, but it can be really, it can be scary. It can be, to some extent, also traumatizing.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where I am now, where it sometimes has gone really up here and then it goes low, where things are quiet. Right now in Sweden, people are only focusing on going on vacation.
Oh, this is this time of year.
It's like, where's everyone? I need some work. I need to do something.
I know.
I also want to go on vacation, but I can't, because obviously the funds are low. But
I mean, it is. I mean, it's. I think that I think this is an important story to tell, because I personally, I mean, I work with people who are starting their own business or setting out into this journey, and there's this like romanticized, glamorized image of, I'm in startups and we're raising $10 million, and it's like, oh, this whole thing. And there's very little told about how lonely it is, how hard it is. And as you say, I mean, if you get 50 no's in a row, in the end, you start doubting yourself that, am I actually doing the right thing?
Yes.
And you come to the point, which is, the hardest choice of the entrepreneur, the pivot or persevere. How much do I have to change to follow what they want?
Mm-hmm.
And how much should I stay true to what I believe? And that is a really, really hard, and that you're like, constantly. I mean, I've known you now for, it's actually 2 years, more than that I've known you now. And we've had this discussion, and I know how hard it is. I've been there myself as well. And I've been chipping in as well from Yash in India as well, that it's a daunting journey for sure. Yeah, and Yash is in the same boat as well. But I think it's important for us to share these stories, because by sharing, we also get away from, I'm not the only one in the world. And there are people that I can reach out to. And if nothing else, I can, and I'm not banging my own drum here, but if nothing else, I can always go and have a cup of coffee with Donnie, and he'll say lots of stupid things, and I'll get away with a smile or whatever. It's if nothing else, that's an important thing, I think, to talk about as well. So I appreciate you sharing that. And I think that, but I will ask you though.
Yes.
Now that you have felt all of this and you're feeling this and where you are, if you had the choice to continue running your own thing and being who you are and actually living who you are and taking a job in a design department, what would you do?
Okay, to be honest, I would say I'm still like, I'd say it's 70-30, 70 being the entrepreneur side, because I'm growing faster than I thought, as well as learning a lot as well. By that, I mean, when I'm going to, if I do get like a full-time job, I go to work 8 to 5 or 6, do just that, and that's all I'm doing. If it's like a company here in Sweden, we go to work, focus on that, and that's it for the day. And then maybe I would go back home and start working on my side gigs. But with this, it's like, it's not 8 to 5. That's another thing. It's like a continuous thing, which is I've been trying to like tell my brain when to stop working, because it's a bit of a problem. Where it's not start working on Tavitic designs from 8 to 5. It's been more of I go to bed thinking about what I didn't do, what invoices I didn't send, what things I have to do. And because right now I'm working on my own and I don't have a team, it's like you are everything in that company. You're doing the finance, you're doing the project management, following up on clients, you're also the designer, you are everything basically. So it's in that sense, I would say it's nice to be on this journey. Also, it's very stressful. Whereas if you were to go to a full-time job, you have the HR telling you, okay, just send your account details. We will do everything at the end of the month. Then there's the account manager who's just telling you, okay, today we need a presentation, and that's it. And then you have colleagues that you're also working with, and like they are also doing part of the project you're already also working on. Versus like working as an entrepreneur, you're kind of doing everything alone, and maybe you're also working with the client that has already negotiated the prices, so you can't ask a designer out there to come and help you because already the funds are low. But if asked right now, I'm at a point where I'm still like weighing my options also, because yes, we want to be financially stable. You want to know at the end of the month what it is or where you're going to get your money from. But so the thing about being entrepreneur versus full-time job, that's the scary part, where if you're in a full-time job, you know every month you're receiving your salary and it's this much. Whereas this other end is like you don't know when you're going to get it, and you have to constantly keep looking for it. And
well, I mean, I compare it to a lot of other, the whole creative industry. I mean, I compare it to, the joke of that every single waiter in Hollywood is actually an actor. it's trying but making ends meet. And
Yes.
I mean, I see it here as well, because I mean, students that are here at the university and start something at the university, they're usually not at the point where they can go full time in their business when they graduate from university. So then their choice is to, well, either I take a well-paid job, which is like which will take 100% of my brain in one of the big companies, or I take like a low energy job, like in waiting tables or in the supermarket. Nothing wrong with those jobs, but it won't sort of tax my thinking in the same kind of way. And that will sort of support me until I get my own thing started.
Yeah.
So but that's a constant balance. We're getting loads of more good comments here. Let's see. Very proud of you. Cancelled all appointments so I can be here. Look at that. Thank you very much. Very good. And another one. Here's another one. Here. Hey, I'm here for you. You make Zimbabwe proud. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you so
we've got
much.
The whole country behind us now. This is. We can't fail. We can't fail. This is incredible. I'm really. Thank you everyone for joining online, and thank you for pitching in with comments. This means a lot. Especially for the guests, of course, because always happy to see that you are here for them. Right. I'm looking at the time. This is the world's fastest half an hour. I know. Before we started this, she was going like, "Oh my God, how are we gonna half an hour? It's gonna shit." And I go, don't worry. Once we're in, it's gonna go. But we can't leave without the guests sharing, because I always ask my guests to prepare something to share with the audience as well. So today we're sharing the top 3 tips here for, look at this, we have Taurai's top 3 tips for, and we're looking at the entrepreneurship side of things, aren't we? Being your own, building your own company, being your own entrepreneur, and the inspiration to that. So tip number 1, establish clear goals, but remain flexible.
Okay. So what that is obviously when I started this, I had a goal in mind. However, it's like getting to it, I've had to constantly change the way I do get to it. So I have this idea of where I want to be, but it hasn't been the easiest planning around it. And when it comes to that, it's like I have to constantly change things in terms of, if this was a journey and I know I want to go to that mountain, but I know there's a specific road to get to it, but maybe there's something along the way on this road that just isn't right. So I have to somehow make an alternative route to get to the end. Yeah. So for me, it's been like that, and I'm constantly changing how I am working, and also trying to see what works in the time that it is that I'm in order to get to where I need to. So a lot of sacrifices, a lot of things.
But I like that. I like the analogy, because if you're aiming for the mountain, I'm getting to that top of the mountain, but getting there can take many routes. Yes. It can be that way up, and the southern face, I can drill in and take an elevator up, or I can take a helicopter down, or there's always way to getting there. But I think I like the analogy with the mountain, because it's like, clear goal but flexible in the route getting there.
Yes.
Very good. Tip number 2, begin, stay persistent, and follow your dream.
Yes. Which has been the most difficult part for me, at least, and I'm still also, even that tip is working for myself still now, is the fact that with it, where I am now, it's just been about, yes, I was a in full-time jobs before, and always when I'm outside of not being an entrepreneur, I'm like, I wish I was one. And then when I'm in here, I'm like, well, before you get into it, like, you have to begin. You can't keep talking about it. You have to do something about it. You can't just do it. Yes, just start. Because if you keep talking about it and not doing it, then we're going nowhere, really. So yes, to stay consistent, and also to continue remembering that the dream, what was the dream in the beginning. And sometimes, yes, you can get sidetracked and all, but it's just a matter of continuing and doing it. And you may feel low at times. Allow yourself to feel that way. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, where I'm low and can't create because my energy is a bit low.
This is her when she's low, by the way. So We'll have her back on there when she's on.
But yeah, to stay persistent and to just remember that it's never going to be easy.
No,
it
I mean,
just
I think
has
that, but
to
I
be
think that's
done.
his.
Yeah.
And again, I will actually say again that I'm really, really happy and thankful for you sharing that, because we have to remember that side of it as well. So that's great. And I know that Yash is on the call from India. One of his mantras is, you know, consistency is key.
Yes.
Just keep chipping away every single day. Get out of bed and keep chipping away, because in the end you'll get there.
Yes.
And then tip number 3, learn how to say no. That's something we're still learning, right?
Yeah, no, that one is also still something I am struggling with, but I have to keep telling myself that. In the past couple of months, I would say I was whining about how I wasn't getting jobs. And then when I did, I got a lot of them. And then I didn't know when to say no, especially with the people that would be, like, let's say, negotiating. And what it comes to, basically, when it comes to this tip, is that know when or what you can take. Don't try to fill your cup with too much, because it's going to overflow and then you can't really, learn to say no to certain things. Learn to say, I won't take a $5 job because I know in the end I have a $100 job and it's gonna give me what I need. Also, for your own thinking and for your own, I won't mention a client, for example, that I had before, but it was more of them negotiating, saying they also demanding. Too bad the ones that negotiate are also the ones that are a bit problematic, that come with so many changes, so many things, and saying, I don't like this, I don't like that. But just knowing when to say no to a job is good, and to also be able to say, okay, you know what, listen, I understand you want to work with me, but I'm not the right person to be working with right now. So just say no when you know it's too much for you and you can't handle it. Just say no.
Fantastic. But I think that's one of the things for especially lone entrepreneurs is, you know, I usually make the joke that the smaller the company, the more services they offer. And then, I mean, they do this and this and this and this and this. Oh yeah, and cut the grass as well.
Yes.
And then as they grow and become more, well, not only professional, but more focused, and they get more job, then they sort of focus in on what they actually do, and they learn to turn things down. And that's one of the key things is, when you start turning things down, it means that you're also being much more consistent in what you're actually picking, which will make you more, it will be clearer for people what you actually do and who you are, which will give you more work in that specific area as well. So it's kind of a multiplying effect when you actually learn how to say things. Yeah, well, happy to give you that one, Yash. Of course, you're always the one commenting on consistency, so you get that one. Anyway, look at this. It's 14:58. We've had the 3 tips. We've had an incredible guest, and I am really so happy that you came today. And actually, one last credit for this girl here, just so she can get another boost of ego. I had a cancellation for this week's show, right? And I said on my Monday morning greeting, which, same thing there when it comes to, you know, not believing. I don't even think people even watch those Monday greetings, but obviously some people do. And I said on my Monday greeting, oh, I have a cancellation. I don't know who's going to be on my show. She reaches out and says, hey, I'm in. I want to, you know, put me there. And here she is. So that's on you. That's credit to you. So well done.
Thank you for having me.
And I will say thank you for everybody watching. And whatever you can do now to help this girl become even more successful, go ahead, do it. Connect with her on LinkedIn. Follow her on LinkedIn. And I'm looking forward to seeing her succeed even more so in the future. And always happy to open my door and offer a cup of coffee whenever you need it, you know.
Thank you so much. Yes.
With that, my dear friends, I will say thank you for now. Next week is probably the last Innovation Fika for the summer, because as we heard, Sweden closes down.
Yes.
One last joke about that is, like, we have like a 4 or 5 week holiday in Sweden. But what happens is, like 2-3 weeks before the holiday, everybody's going, well, you know, it's almost a holiday. Won't be, no, it's like we'll have to wait afterwards. So that's adding another 3 weeks. And then 3 weeks after the holiday, everybody goes, you know, I just came back from holiday. I don't, no. So we have actually like an 8-week thing of hiatus here in Sweden. So anyway, and it's a wonder that we get anything done in this country sometimes. With that, thank you so much. And tune in next week. One last time.
Thank you so much.
Bye for now.
For having me here.
Look at that. One last comment here as well. So proud of you from Leslie as well. Awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.